It means Nabout will not feature for the Socceroos again unless they do the unthinkable and reach the late stages of the tournament, with the injury set to sideline him for about 2 weeks. Van Marwijk has preferred the hard-running, muscular Nabout to all other options in the Socceroos' first 2 games because his high energy levels mean he can work, chase, harass and press from the front. But with him no longer an option, the Dutchman has to make a major decision for a game the Socceroos simply have to win if they are to harbor any hopes of making the round of 16. Van Marwijk's preference in the 2 games so far has been to use Nabout as a sacrificial workhorse for an hour or so and then replace him with Tomi Juric. But Juric has himself been nursing a knee injury during the lead-up to this competition and that has restricted his mobility. The Swiss-based frontman is a big physical presence, but he is not a noted goal scorer, and this is one match where goals are a necessity and containment will not be an option. Loading playing in 5, Jamie Maclaren, drafted into the final squad at late notice, has cooled his heels on the bench for both games and not seen a minute. He is a very different type of player to Nabout and Juric. Smaller, slighter and quick, he is a penalty box predator. He was in fine form for his Scottish club Hibernian in the latter stages of the Scottish Premier League and is the most likely in the squad to pounce on a half chance in the penalty area. Which then brings the crucial question, whether Cahill, the veteran, has, like Maclaren, been an unused substitute during this tournament so far. His lack of game time this year, 70 minutes only with Millwall, mean he is ill-equipped for the role Van Marwijk requires from his starting centre-forward. Cahill simply does not have the miles in his legs to do the endless chasing and thankless pressing that Nabout has done in the opening 2 matches. But he is a goal scorer, the man who pops up at the most improbable of times to dig his country out of desperate situations. Yes, that used to happen more in the past than the present, and his recent goal-scoring record for Australia, bar that immense brace against Syria, has not been impressive. But in desperate circumstances, will Van Marwijk, a stubborn man who does not like to be told what to do, roll the dice? Cahill has the experience, the track record and enormous self-belief. He is also brilliant in the air, which might well be the best route to goal for Australia against a Peruvian defense not noted for its aerial ability at set pieces. Certainly there was some surprise that he wasn't used, at least in the dying minutes, against Denmark as Australia sought a way through the giant Danish rearguard. Opinion on the ground is generally in favor of breaking the emergency glass at some stage and throwing him into the action. It is likely that Juric or Maclaren will get the nod against Peru. But if ever this was an occasion for even a truncated bout of Timmy time, this is it. For Nabout, the injury is devastating. The 25-year-old landed awkwardly following an aerial challenge midway through the second half of the Socceroos' draw against Denmark, extending his arm as he landed and subsequently dislocating his shoulder upon impact. The former Newcastle Jets man was writhing in pain as he crashed into ground and had to be substituted immediately, replaced by Juric. Despite the bitter blow that will surely end his World Cup campaign prematurely, Nabout was hopeful that a quick recovery coupled with progression to the second round will provide him with a slim hope of returning to the field in Russia. Loading, it's disappointing. Obviously there was a lot of emotion running through me after the game. We'll see how it settles down in the next few days and we'll go from there. I can't really say much now because the doc hasn't had a chance to look at it, Nabout said. It's the second time Nabout has suffered such an injury, dislocating his shoulder while playing in Japan. He was told the recurrence of the first injury will include a shorter recovery period, giving him some hope of playing again at the World Cup. I've always got positive thoughts on my mind, so hopefully if I rehab it quick enough then anything can happen. I recovered pretty quick from the last one, he said. I was back running within a week and a half, 2 weeks. Hopefully this time, being the second time, it recovers a little bit quicker and we'll go from there. It will means Bert van Marwijk will have to change his attacking lineup for the first time since forming camp back on May 20th in Turkey, having kept with the same attacking quarter of Nabout, Robbie Cruz, Matt Blackie and Tom Rogic for all games, including friendlies. During the week, Van Marwijk suggested Cahill is not considered as a starting option, meaning Australia's all-time leading goal scorer will come off the bench if he's to play in a fourth World Cup. FIFA World Cup Group C Socceroos pair Michael Lynch, the Age's expert on soccer, has had extensive experience of high-level journalism in the UK and Australia. Michael has covered the Socceroos through Asia, Europe and South America in their past 3 World Cup campaigns. He has also reported on Grand Prix and top-class motorsport from Asia and Europe. He has won several national media awards for both sports and industry journalism.